All right, Anthony on Air podcast back for another episode. Massive news in the development in the case for Brian Laundrie. Big development here. Human remains found along with personal items we believe to be Brian Laundrie's. We will dive into all of this. Plus, we'll get into the abandoned bike that they thought was Brian Laundrie's. And amazingly, in the search for Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito, people, five missing people, at least five bodies, missing persons have been found during this search, which is just unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Truly unbelievable. So we'll do that. Amazon is recording you right now as we speak. This story today will blow some people's minds. Some people don't know what Amazon is doing with their Alexas. Can't say it too loud or else I'm going to set everybody's off. Right. Dr. Dre gets served at his grandma's funeral. Facebook is changing their name. Gandolfini refused to do this scene during The Sopranos. We'll share that with you. And Netflix employees are staging a walkout. Frankie C is here with us. This episode is brought to you by our good pals over at Jumpstart Coffee Company. 15% off with the promo code AOA15. Link in the description below. More on that in a second. Let's start with Brian Laundrie. Should we start with the FBI audio?
Yeah, this is good. That'll sum it up, and then we could talk about it.
And then we'll go into the particulars, and then we'll show you some pictures from the day and everything that's going on with the latest developments here. But it appears to be right now, as we speak, that this is Brian Laundrie. His remains were found.
We don't know if it's his remains.
They don't know if it's his remains just yet, but some personal items that they know belong to him because his parents identified those, and this is all coming from an area in that Carlton Reserve spot that was previously underwater. You got me?
For a second. Now I got you. This is weird. How does that happen? You disappeared, but the background stayed.
Oh, I don't know.
That's insanely weird.
As long as you can hear me, you good?
I got you.
Okay. All right, so let's hear from, this is the FBI giving an update.
Earlier today, investigators found what appears to be human remains, along with personal items, such as a backpack and notebook belonging to Brian Laundrie. These items were found in an area that up until recently have been underwater. Our evidence response team is on scene using all available forensic resources to process the area. It's likely the team will be on scene for several days. I know you have a lot of questions, but we don't have all the answers yet. We are working diligently to get those answers for you. We are grateful for the dedication and professionalism of the Northport Police Department, along with our partners from the state and local agencies. Complex investigations such as this cannot be accomplished by one agency alone, but there's just too many agencies to name them all here today. Portions of the Myakkahatchee Creek Environment Park and Carlton Reserve will remain closed to the public until further notice.
Glad to see I'm not the only one that has a hard time with that name.
Yeah, I don't know what's so difficult. Laundrie, like you do your laundry.
This is an active...
No, not Laundrie. Not Myakkahatchee or whatever.
Myakkahatchee?
An ongoing investigation, so we ask the public to maintain distance from any law enforcement personnel, equipment, vehicles, and other related activity for the safety of the public and to protect the integrity of our work.
That felt like it was directed at Dog the Bounty Hunter / all the TikTokers.
Right? Yeah. Stay the hell away, you idiots.
Let us do our thing here.
Yeah. You don't want to contaminate any kind of crime scene or whatever.
Which, credit to the TikTokers, I feel like they've done a great job on sharing information and getting things out there and the possibilities and everything else. But let the pros handle it, because they were basically the ones that found them. And it's interesting here, Frank. All right, so let's dive into the interesting things. They never gave up on this Carlton Reserve area.
Yeah, I mean, that seemed like to be their main focus for a long time. And what's super strange, I think, is that once the parents got involved, they were able to find this evidence. The parents apparently pointed them to this direction, that it's a trail that Brian frequented.
Right.
And apparently it was underwater for a while, but who knows if it's him? Who knows?
Did you say this on the show or before the show? I can't remember. Like, how was it underwater and now it's not underwater? Did you say that on? Well,
No,
we
I
I
didn't
don't even.
say that. No,
Oh, you,
that's typical. Tides
oh.
come in and out. And
Yeah, I was gonna say that's fucking Florida. That
that's
whole thing
Florida,
is
man.
the
Yeah,
whole state is a swamp.
I get. Places flood and then recede. I get it.
Yeah.
That's the way that is down there.
Um, I also want to point out this guy in the back of this press conference before I think this
What
guy is
appear to be
literally on
human
TikTok.
remains, along with personal
Look at the
items
guy in
such as a
the
backpack
glasses and the purple
and
shirt. Look at
notebook
him. He's
belonging to
taking
Brian Laundrie.
pictures.
Yep, he's
These
having a
items were found
He's
he's having
taking
a time.
video. Look, he's on TikTok.
Our
This
evidence
son of a
response
bitch.
team
This is probably their media
using
guy.
all available
He's
forensic
there just to
resources
post
to
this stuff on
prosecute this
the
area.
FBI
The suspect
Facebook
is here
page or whatever
to
the
be
hell.
on scene for
I think
several
this son of a
days.
bitch is just trying to bump up his own TikTok. That's what I think. That's my theory.
I think he's one of the reporters. He just happened to sneak behind the lines.
I don't know. You know that guy that liberal guy on TikTok who busts all the conservative nut jobs? He like finds who the people are in the videos. You ever see this guy? He's got the beard. He's like, he looks, the camera's like super close. He's like, well, actually, we
Oh,
found the name of this part. You ever see that guy?
the big guy with he's got glasses, the
Yeah.
gray beard. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that guy's going to call out this guy in the next day or two. He's like,
Maybe.
in the middle of an FBI press conference,
Yeah.
Stephen Riley.
I can see that.
It's trying to up his TikTok numbers.
Right.
Um,
No, but if it's anybody but Brian Laundrie, that would be a real big shock since whoever it is had his backpack and notebook with them.
yeah.
It's very weird. Unless it could be someone who stumbled upon a backpack and notebook and, you know, something happened, got caught in the flood. Who knows?
I mean, you're talking me. Yes, I agree, but you're talking about a crazy, insane
Yeah,
coincidence. Like this is it. This is
probably him.
yeah.
Which, I mean, to be honest, it sucks because if he were alive, we would get more answers about Gabby. Hopefully, probably.
Let's talk about the things that suck. Now we'll never know really what happened to this poor young girl.
Unless they can prove what happened without his. I mean, even if they got him alive, he doesn't have to say anything. He could deny everything.
He could have denied everything, but now for sure we're not going to find out unless he wrote it down and it's in that.
Yeah, in that journal notebook. That or forensics and all the investigators can piece together exactly what happened based on
That would be
timelines and where they are and all the forensics, because that's not impossible. They could work all that out in a timeline,
right,
and have this is the only way it makes sense kind of thing.
Also, the other thing, and again, a coroner was called on site today with where those items were. There was a ton of evidence bags that were being hauled off and out. Let me bring up some of the pictures as we're going through this and talking about this stuff, Frank. The other thing I was going to say is I don't know. I mean, I feel like we'll know. We don't know right now what happened to him. Was this a suicide? Was this a he was eaten by an alligator or something, or was this a he was camping and whatever, and then just the tides changed, or maybe was he sleeping and just all of a sudden, that's it. He's in whatever 3 feet, 4 feet of water, and
It could have been slammed again. A raging flood came through and slammed him into. Who knows? It could have been the elements around him.
right.
It could have been wildlife. Could have been anything. We don't know, because the other thing is, whatever the remains are, they're not in any condition, obviously, to identify him. So either that had something to do with his death, or that's just the elements over time.
Because I wonder, does he over time just like here's a couple of scenarios. Does he just go there that first day and end it in the thing? Was he trying to survive and, like you said, killed by the elements? Was he trying to survive and after 2-3 weeks, whatever, just couldn't bear the burden of the guilt and then killed himself then? Like, there's,
Could be anything. I don't know. Obviously, we won't know until the coroner gets gets the results back. But
Yeah, that's an evidence bag for those of you that are watching. There's a police tent set up in the exact location of the Florida Reserve. Here's a map just that goes to show you how close this was of where Brian Laundrie's parents live in Northport, and how close the Mayakahatchee Creek Environmental
nailed it.
Park is.
It's not that far. People were saying this way, that way. He didn't. If this is him, he didn't get very far.
Right now, isn't that interesting? Like, so we speculated, and John Walsh thought he was in Mexico, and Dog the Bounty Hunter thought he was in the Appalachian Trails. All the phone calls and the leads and the this and the that. He's 40 minutes away from the house.
Right. If this is him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That he didn't make it very far. I don't know what. I guess that's just to hold. Why would you put a tent up to hold anything?
I don't know, but it looks like it looks like. The other thing too is they're probably trying to cover
Some
up
kind of evidence.
Yeah, because look what's happening. There's a million news helicopters and things and drones. What's to stop somebody from just flying a drone up there and
snapping a picture of whatever.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and that's all swamp. They can't just get out there and collect it so easily.
Right. I was gonna say this is Brian's parents talking with the authorities. Boy, what and here's the thing too. If they were hiding him, or look at the dad's pants, they're soaking wet, just walking through. If they were hiding him or helped him get away, you feel like, oh, these people are pieces of shit. I mean, I can't help but think now, is there a little bit of a you feel for these parents that
I don't know. I mean,
my wife says no.
You don't feel for the parents?
She gave it a big resounding no. But I mean, okay, let's just, let's go through them for a second. He comes back without her. What happened? If he shares with them or not? I mean, let's assume that he doesn't share with them. Then he winds up taking off the next couple of days. Now they don't know where he really is. Were they in contact? Were they not in contact? I mean, really
they
know.
only stumbled upon this scene because the parents joined the search.
And now they got to deal with a dead kid of their own. Hold on, my wife has made a. We really got to hook up that Cuddles mic. We got to. Okay, let's hear. She's gonna give her opinion.
No, but the trail that they went and looked at, they said was underwater for a while,
right?
And it receded, but his parents just told them about this trail, that this was one of them that he used a lot. So why didn't you say that from the beginning, that this was like one of them that he frequented? Why would you wait unless they haven't spoken to him in a while and they know that now he's gone? Maybe he did have contact with them throughout this whole thing, but why now?
I mean, it's okay. Yes, it's a good and valid point, but also, what if this was one of the places that they said early on, and it was just underwater, and they couldn't?
Yeah,
they couldn't
that's a
find
possibility.
Him. He was just there.
No one's got hunter boots. No one's got rain boots. No one's got what? No one's got a boat. No one's got. So then, how is the backpack and the notebook that was underwater? How is that
How is the backpack and the notebook underwater?
Well, it's not anymore. The water receded and it was found along with the remains. That's the only reason they found it. Because the water receded.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's really, there's a lot of questions. What makes me sad is that if the notebook was underwater, I hope it wasn't ruined. I hope they could read, because again, what else? What other shot do you have at finding out what happened to her unless he sat down and wrote it all out in the notebook, which you think there's a good chance that he did. There's a 50-50 chance he wrote it down in the notebook.
Yeah, if he was looking to take the way out, he may have written it down.
If he was going there to end it all, I'm sure getting that all off your chest is sort of therapeutic. Thank you.
I guess. I mean, I don't know how much therapy would help if you're going to end it all, but
again, think about the parents. I mean, again, let's assume for devil's, because it's a podcast, and how else are we going to fill this time? Let's assume that.
I didn't mean therapy wouldn't help if you're going to end it all. I meant if he's going to end it all, I don't know if he's looking for therapeutics.
For a therapeutic out, yeah. Right. But I would think so. I honestly feel like I feel like there's a human instinctual need for confession.
Yeah, I mean, you got nothing left to lose. Why not
Yeah.
spill your guts?
Yeah. So let's say that this all happened and it was bizarre, and even if the parents at first went into protection mode and was like, okay, listen, we'll get you the lawyer, don't talk to anybody. We're gonna work our way through this and figure it out. Like, what if he came in and gave him a sob story of like, she hit me and wouldn't stop, and one thing led to another, and before I knew it, what if he hit him with one of those? And they go, okay, look, this is terrible, this is awful, but we're gonna get you the protection, we're gonna get you a lawyer, and we're gonna figure out a way through this. We'll work together, and then all of a sudden he disappears. One
Yeah,
day.
but he disappeared, and then like I don't know how many days later they reported him missing. It's not like he disappeared and then they reported him. They gave him a pretty nice head start.
That's true. That's true. It was a few days from when he actually left to what was it, like 4 days?
Something like that.
Yeah, because even so, because you make a good point. Because even if he left without them knowing, and then like let's say he leaves the night of the 13th, and it's the 14th, and it's like, oh, where is he? I would think it around the night of the 14th, and definitely the morning of the 15th. You turn around and start calling the police and go, now he's missing too.
Well,
Not wait
only
another
that.
2 days for him to come back.
I mean, not only that, he comes home, drops this bombshell on you, and then you don't. I mean, I feel like you'd have to be in constant touch with him after that. It's not, if he's missing for more than 3 hours, it's like, where are you?
Yeah.
This is major. What's going on right now? You can't just wander off. We
And
got to know where
again,
you are, especially your lawyer, all that stuff.
like even if he did come there and say, "Oh, it was self-defense," or one thing led to another, and it got out of hand, and blah blah blah, this happened. Even then, you kind of even then, a good parent would be like, "Look, we're gonna lawyer up, and we're gonna go right in, and if that's what really happened, we're gonna go in, and you're gonna make yourself not go on the run."
Right.
But
And
maybe they didn't have a choice. Who knows? I don't
who
know.
knows what he told them, because the autopsy said she was strangled, so that's not a defensive thing. I don't think you don't strangle someone out of
No, not really.
defense.
But if it starts as a self-defense thing and then he gets into like one of those blind rage, temporary insanity things, I'm sure
Yeah,
that's
but it takes, from what I understand, I don't know, but I think it takes a while to strangle someone.
yeah. And please, I hope
So
people don't think I'm defending him. I'm
no,
playing
just
around with
devil's advocate.
scenarios
We're
here.
going back and forth. So if it depends on what he told them. He could have told them anything. He could have lied right to their faces and said, "This is what," and none of it's true. And then they jumped into parent defense mode. Let's get a lawyer. Blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
he didn't have to come home and tell them the truth.
And what if he played them? What if he's like,
Exactly.
I'll give myself in. Just I need a couple of days to process all this or whatever. And what if he says, I'm gonna go out and just camp for a couple days and I'll
Clear my
come
head.
back and we'll go in, and then 4 days after 4 days they go, all right, we got to call. I mean, look, either way, even if they did help him, even if they are pieces of shit and they did help him, this is like for them, like, God, you first your son does this awful thing, and now your son is dead too. Like, it's like, this is not. I mean, I do feel for these people a little right
Yeah, I
now,
mean,
not knowing the full story.
your kid. If everything is what we think, then if everything happened the way we all think it happened, then not only is your kid responsible for this girl's death, but now he's dead too. It's like,
Yeah,
as a parent, I'm sure they got to be devastated with both news, both pieces
yeah,
of news.
that's two strikes of shit. That's
Yeah. No matter what your son is, yeah, he's dead, and he killed someone. That's to be a parent with that, that can't be easy.
Nope. No, it can't.
I'm not painting them as saints, but it's still, that can't be easy.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So,
And again, just to kind of reiterate, to me, the most interesting thing now is what's in that backpack and what's in that notebook.
well, also the whose remains, is it his remains? Which chances are it's his, but you never know. Someone could have stole his stuff.
Someone could have stole stuff. We have the bike story to talk about. And then one more element on this before we even get to the bike story. And then 5 people found. So more on this topic in a second. But I just got to give the love, Frankie C, to Jumpstart Coffee Company.
Right.
Best coffee in the world.
Maybe we take down Brian Laundrie's parents. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Best coffee in the world. There's Frankie C with his dark roast blend showing that off.
Love it.
I'm super excited for that. He's got the medium roast, which is the favorite in my household right now. Again, my wife, traditionally black, Starbucks, little ice, as bitter as she could possibly get it. I'm like, there's no way we're going to love this medium. I'm an espresso guy. There's no way we're going to love this medium roast. Turns out it's our favorite. Now, just to clarify, I have not gotten into the espresso roast just yet. We've been savoring.
That sounds amazing, espresso roast.
So I can't wait to try that and see how that turns out. But they're great coffee and a great cause because 50% of their profits go to the Navy SEAL Foundation. Extraordinary people, Frankie C. Extraordinary people. Order up your Jumpstart Coffee Company right now with the promo code AOA15 using the link in the description for this episode, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button, by the way. If not, you are stealing comedy. Or if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, or any other of our audio partners, by the way, rate and review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. That really does help us. You can click the link in the banner or go to anthonyonair.com and click on the banner of the homepage right there.
It's funny, I didn't notice. Every time I just smelled it and I got a nice whiff of raisin in this medium roast. It just hit me.
But I think the raisin is the least in there. I think it's more the caramel.
When you're drinking it, you're right. But right now, I just got a waft.
Got a little
when
raisin.
I opened the bag, it was just a little bit of that sweetness came through.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's that raisin is that earthy sweetness too. You know, it's not like sugary crap. It's like that nice, like a honey too. I like those naturals. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
I'm a fan of raisins. I don't know why everybody's down on raisins. Raisins are great. I could eat a bowl full of raisins right now.
Yeah, I do like a good raisin.
Even craisins. Let's get some craisins going.
Raisin, I feel like, is an unsung hero in the nut. What do they call those? Trail mix things.
Oh yeah,
right?
That's your sweet little bonus right there.
Some
you get
peanuts and some raisins.
You get all that salty shit, and then you go raisin. Boom.
Oh, yeah, love it. Heroes. I'm just loving the Hero Soap Company lately.
They're good too. Hero Soap is good too.
Hero Soap is good too because people keep ordering from our old episodes. I guess they're they're loving it and they're reordering. So good for Hero Soap Company. I'm hoping that we have the same success with Jumpstart Coffee Company. Again, all the reviews we're getting from the audience are through the roof, so that makes me super, super happy. Thanks to you guys for supporting Jumpstart Coffee Company. Again, 15% off. You support them, you support us, and you support the Navy SEALs just with one simple purchase.
And you get a great product in return.
Phenomenal product. Last thing, I wonder if the FBI, I mean, you got to think that they are under some sort of under the gun here with the fact that this area was underwater and is now not, and they found him and is going to be back underwater again.
Yeah, I mean, how long? I don't know how long that takes.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the tides because it would be every 12 hours. It would be going in and out, in and out. I think it's just probably some of it has to do with the tides. I'm sure some of it has to do with other things. It's a full moon tonight. I have no idea. I don't know what causes it.
It sounds like you have no idea, to be honest.
Gonna be honest with you. Not gonna lie to you.
I got nothing.
I don't know what to tell you. But apparently every now and then this place floods. Don't know if it's every week, every month, once a week. Who knows? I don't know. But they said they're gonna be there a few days. Look at picking everything up. And
you know what I found interesting too? I want to share this with you. Here's the end of the press conference today. This is the end of the clip that we played for you just a second ago. Fire this up.
We appreciate the tremendous support from the public and continue to ask for your assistance in bringing this investigation to close. Thank you.
Was the backpack found near the Justice for Gabby! Justice for Gabby! Justice for Gabby! Justice for Gabby!
I found that interesting that they started chanting "Justice for Gabby."
I mean, yeah. Nobody there wants anything other than that.
Wait,
Justice for Gabby! Justice for Gabby! Justice for Gabby! Justice for Gabby!
Wow.
just don't.
How'd they do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
That was very coordinated.
Yeah,
I mean, it was only a handful of people, but still, someone had to do this, or else
it all just not. Yeah,
you get one straggler
yeah.
that'll throw one extra one out there.
I agree. I find it interesting and a little weird for a couple reasons. One, usually press is the only people that attend a press conference, especially one that's in the middle of a swamp.
Hmm.
So clearly they were just regular people there. And then, like you said, like, yeah, I think these people pride themselves on doing a good job and finding, doing their job extraordinarily well. I don't think that you're looking at people that don't want to find.
Yeah, everybody there is trying to get the answers. It's not like this one
Right.
guy going, "Whoa, whoa, nobody wants the truth here, so back it up." Everybody there wants to find Brian Laundrie. Everybody there wants to know what happened
Yeah.
with, to Gabby. And I don't know if maybe they just wanted, I'm sure it wasn't toward the authorities because
Right.
the authorities are the ones doing the work.
Right.
It was probably just to get it on mic and on camera, that Justice for Gabby chant.
By the way, should we extradite Dog the Bounty Hunter? Because what's he here for? What's the point anymore?
He found what did he find? A potato
Yeah.
chip bag or something? Or
An energy drink.
Energy drink. Yeah. Like miles in the other direction.
Yeah.
Nowhere near this.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell good did he do?
Fucking useless, that Dog the Bounty. I can't stand him now. Remember, like a week ago, we were like, Dog's gonna find him. This could be great.
Get him, Joe. I don't know who was gonna find. God knows who's gonna find Brian. But if it was Dog, great, more the merrier. Jump in. Whoever's gonna find him is gonna find him. But I mean, I never watched his show. What was his? Did he have a good success rate? I mean, did he find almost everybody, or was there people he couldn't find?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 50-50. But I feel like he found a lot. I mean, I don't know what really happened, but in every episode, he basically.
It has to end with, because
Yeah.
there wasn't an episode. Well, he got away.
Yeah, no, there was a couple that would be like, we didn't get him today, but we're on the case, and then like they would like update you and find him like a couple of episodes later.
All right.
So that kind of stuff happened as well. This popped up earlier today, which was this bike in Florida. And again, it was like this. They had some video that they found of somebody who looked like Brian on a bike similar to this. And then they found this bike abandoned. And it's funny because when I first saw this, I was like, oh, my God, they're going to find this guy today. And then I saw the other thing of like, oh, now a notebook was found, because that's how this all kind of leaked out, that a notebook was found first.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bag, and then it was eventually the remains. But as it turns out, as this update was made, that this was not. They don't believe this was an abandoned bicycle from Brian.
What would make them? I guess they know if he had that bike or not. The parents, I'm sure, weighed in a little bit.
Yeah. So the Citrus County Sheriff's Office told TMZ that no evidence is believed that this abandoned bicycle is Brian Laundrie's, while circulating video footage provided by a resident in Dunellen, Florida, depicts an individual riding the bicycle with similar features as Laundrie. The bicycle's footage is clearly not the same. The bicycle footage is clearly not the same. It's not the same bicycle in the footage as in that they found. This bike right here that you're looking at.
Got it.
They also said that the condition of the bike left it impossible to lift any prints. But again, this became practically useless once they actually found the.
The backpack and the notebook are huge, and depending on what the autopsy, what the coroner finds on that body, who knows?
Last bit on this: the manhunt for Brian Laundrie has led authorities to at least 5 bodies of missing persons.
That's incredible. That's unbelievable.
It really is.
I mean, this could be a 6th, or it could be Brian Laundrie.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it would be Brian because he has the stuff. He has the backpack and notebook. but you never know how that could have ended up there. Who knows?
Right.
That's. I mean, doesn't it seem like we should be doing these manhunts all year round? Just keep looking for stuff.
Well, again, it's weird to say this, but this is kind of what happens when you have national attention. You tend to get, there's more pressure put on the authorities to find them, so they have to act. They have to change their actions and really mobilize resources for these kinds of things. Like I said, the people go missing every single day, and they don't get the manpower put behind this, which is unfortunate, but just the reality of the situation.
Yep.
That's kind of just what happens. You wish everybody could be found, so quickly, but.
And they were all identified, or do we know?
Yeah, all 5 were identified. And what's bizarre is, as they were following leads, like one of them was found in North Carolina, because they thought maybe he was hiding there. So they sent a search team, and they're looking around, and then boop, they discover somebody else entirely.
Man.
So
I can't imagine. I mean, I know you're an authority, or a cop, you're an FBI agent, whatever, and you're probably trained for it, but I can't imagine just stumbling onto a scene like that.
Imagine doing this for a living. That's a miserable life.
I can't. Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure there are great moments, like if you find someone
When you find them, yeah,
alive and everything's okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
You know what? Let me clarify. This would be miserable for me. Like, I would not.
Yeah,
there are
no.
people that are probably geared to do this, and like you said, love it when they finally come across somebody.
They solve a case. That's that's their
Huge.
goal. That's their part to play in this, and that's
That's people's goals in life. Mine,
Right.
fart jokes on a podcast. That's,
We haven't had a good fart joke recently. We should get on top of that.
we really do need to up our game. We're not holding up our end of the bargain here, really, when you think about it.
Yeah. More fart jokes to come.
Yeah. Now you're gonna get fart ads served to you, Frank, because Amazon is a listening.
A lot of Glade plug-in ads.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Febreze.
Yep. So Amazon's listening to us. We kind of knew that.
Yeah. So, okay. Again, this is one of those things. And again, with social media, where it's like, I know a bunch of this stuff because, I just have just having to operate on the internet. You kind of know how the internet works and algorithms. And, so I forget sometimes what people know and what people don't know, even regardless of this. So basically what I'm saying is I tend to know a lot about this more than a layperson, because this is sort of my area of expertise, social media and all that kind of jazz. Even I was a little surprised, though, at the amount of recordings that this young lady found. So there was this woman who posted a TikTok video how she requested to see the data that Amazon has collected about her. Her name is my.data.not.yours. She said she requested the data that Amazon has on her, and here's what she found. She revealed, what's that?
That's a family name.
Yeah. It's like Smith in
Right.
Silicon Valley. She revealed that she has 3 Amazon smart speakers. 2 are the Amazon Dots. 1 is the Amazon Echo. Her home also contains smart bulbs. She said when she downloaded the zip file, a whole bunch of folders came with it. She decided to click on an audio file, and it revealed thousands of short voice clips that Amazon has collected from her smart speakers. She described them as so scary and played one of her talking about turning on a light.
Well, are they just audio clips? I'm sure you're going to tell us. Are they just audio clips of her going, Alexa, do this, Alexa, do that? Or is it just random shit, not even involving the Alexa thing?
3,534 short audio clips. She was also sent a contacts file. It turns out they have a full list of my contacts from my phone. I never even remember syncing that, she said. The very last thing that I didn't know they had, I could have assumed that they had, but I didn't. But I don't love that they have, is my location. She received another file that apparently showed the exact location of her Alexa smart speakers. The social media star often makes videos about data privacy and tech. She said, quote, I'm not totally comfortable with everything they have.
I would love to know. I can understand if it has on file when you ask it something, when you ask it to do something for you,
Right.
play
Right.
this song. It would
Right.
probably keep that and know that you like music like that. But if it's just recording you, just talking to your spouse or something or your kids,
Mm-hmm.
that's creepy. If it's recording just your random everyday conversations,
Yeah.
that's kind of messed up.
So again, let me shed some light on what I know. Not only are these dots doing this, but if you have an AirPod, or HomePod from Apple, or your cell phone is doing the same exact thing, and it's sharing that data with Facebook, Instagram.
Even my cell phone.
Well, I don't know about yours because yours is a flip rotary phone, so that might not have the sophisticated
I'm
equipment to
off the
do it.
grid, baby.
Yeah,
I'm not off the grid.
but if your device has a microphone in it, it's listening, it's recording. And before people, and I get it. Look, this creeps me out too a little bit to a degree. But can I give you a positive light on this? Obviously, we should be worried scenario. Um, it's not like Gary in the FBI is on the other end with this little thing in a
No,
in a
computers
laundry
listening.
truck.
Right.
It's just a bakery truck just listening. This goes up into the cloud. They identify certain key terms through your voice. Like it hears like light or toilet paper or whatever. And then all they do is serve you an ad. Now, are they doing more shadier shit with this? Maybe. But what is that? Because I don't really foresee this. Like people go, oh, it's creepy and Big Brother, and then the government's going to be listening to you. And I get all of that. I understand all of that, because the possibilities are certainly there, and those things that we should be worried about. But at the end of the day, everybody's like aghast that like Amazon is listening to me, and it's like, well, there's
That's kind of
no.
what it's designed to do.
Yeah, like what did you expect it when only we say what the word to be to like people? I think people
Because it's
naively
constantly listening for that word too.
all the time,
It has to hear it and then do something.
all the
So it's
time.
going to be listening for all the other word, any other word too.
Anytime you have an assistant like SIRI or Google, it's always on so that it can recognize that word and take a command in.
See, now the iPad I'm talking to you on has SIRI, and if I shut the iPad off, is it still listening?
Yes.
Even if I shut the whole thing off, turn the
How's it going to
power
know
down.
when you say it?
No, the iPad's off, and if I say it, it doesn't respond. But if I turn the iPad on and say, "Hey, SIRI," then it responds.
Mine's on. Well, you might have a setting. That might be a setting that you put on.
So if the power is off,
Oh, if the power is off?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if the power is off on my
Wait, or
iPad,
you mean just the screen is blank? Like you
no,
just hit the
off.
button once. You turn it off completely? No,
Yeah,
it wouldn't be
it's
like
not
it.
listening.
It shouldn't
Okay,
be. It
because it
shouldn't
would
be.
be using battery and it doesn't run out of battery.
Yeah. By the way, you could also like you can go into your settings for Facebook and not allow them to access your
Track your
microphone.
ads. Yeah.
Yeah. But can I tell you something? If you do that, and if you're really worried about this and you want to do these things, like by all means, go do them. I'm not, but people like tell me this stuff all the time because, again, like for those who don't know, aside from the podcast, I do consult for companies on their social media, right? And how they can reach people better and on all that jazz. So that's why I know about some of this stuff. At the end of the day, if you turned and I'm not saying this to convince people to keep it on. Turn it off if you feel comfortable turning it off. At the end of the day, if you turn it off, all you're really doing is opening yourself up to shittier ads because the ads are coming for you no matter what. And you might as well have the best,
Ads that you want to see.
the ones that you want to see. Exactly.
Yeah, if that's the only side effect or effect of this thing, great. If it's just giving me targeted ads,
Yeah.
I couldn't care less.
So like
But
I get
yeah.
ads for microphones and hockey jerseys and I look at them and sometimes I look, and by the way, I get ads for stuff sometimes that seem enticing, and I
Did you
know
say semen?
no, like seem enticing.
Oh, all right.
And I know if I click on this, I'm going to see 20. Like, remember, like, right in the heart of the pandemic, I think you even bought this, was that stupid key thing that you could touch
I did not buy that.
and pull the door. You didn't buy that?
No, I bought the sync thingy,
You
but
bought
I
the
didn't
same
buy
thing.
that thing.
There was this thing, and you could you could open doors with it, and you could touch, like, keypads, so you didn't have to actually touch any. And I clicked on that because I was like, oh, this is cool. I got ads for that thing for, like, 4 weeks straight, you know?
Oh, I bought a Halloween mask off on the internet on
Mhm.
Amazon,
Mhm.
and now all my ads are different Halloween masks and things that can go with the mask, and you know.
Well, great point, because I was also going to say that it's not just a microphone; it's what you're clicking on, also too.
Yeah.
So it's so people are like, oh, turn off my microphone to be okay. No, but you click on something on one site. If you click on something on your computer and you open up your phone, you're going to be
It's everywhere.
susceptible to an ad. And it's not just Facebook and Instagram and Twitter; it's Google, it's everything. Everything runs on cookies.
My wife, I don't know if I mentioned it, my wife plays this trivia game on her phone, and we could be talking about something so random, and then she'll start playing a trivia game, and it's like the fourth question in is about what we were just talking about. It's
Yeah.
very strange.
Yeah.
You know, like, I want to make an apple pie. And then all of a sudden she'll start playing a game, and it's like, what's the number one dessert in America? Apple pie, you know.
Right.
It's just very, and that happens way more often than you think. Like
And
almost
people
every
will
time.
say, like, oh, this is like an invasion of privacy and everything. And I get it. It is to a degree. At the same time, though, you let this into your home. You love the idea of waking up and asking a
Just get
machine
rid of it if you
what
don't
the
want.
weather is. No, but think
Just-
about that. You know,
yeah.
we do love that. Like, I understand. I know the slippery slow people are going
Yeah.
to kill me on this one. But the fact of the matter is there are certain things, and by the way, I am going to tell you how much I hate Amazon because I think they're just shit right now. But there are certain things where we do kind of love the fact that we can be like, hey,
The convenience of it.
blah, 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 I need more paper towels, you know?
Yeah.
Or when you think about it, you go, oh my God, honey, we're low on paper towels. And the next thing you know, it's like, hey, do you want some paper towels? And you're like, oh shit, I do.
Because I guarantee you, if you're that kind of person that just goes, hey, blah, 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 I want paper towels, and you go into that app and it's not geared towards your stuff, you're like, this is a crappy app. This app doesn't really work. It's not doing what it's supposed to or whatever.
Right.
But the fact that it does is probably why you like it a little more.
Exactly. It's convenience.
It's convenient.
We are trading and will always trade. We will forever trade a little bit of privacy for a little bit more convenience. And we have been for the longest time.
Yeah. Now,
know?
I have Amazon Fire Stick plugged into my TV.
Yep.
And when it's on, when I turn it on, there's a little button on my remote that I have to press and hold
Mm-hmm.
and say, hey, blah, blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
and ask it whatever. Now, if I'm not holding that button, it's still recording me while the TV's on.
That is a great question. I couldn't give you a definitive answer. My guess would be yes, but again, I don't know if that would 100% work. And the reason why I say that is because when you're dealing with a phone or Alexa, you have an infinite battery life there. You know what I mean? So your phone is on a battery that always is constantly being recharged. Your Alexas, your Echoes and stuff are plugged into the wall, so constant thing there.
Well, this is plugged into the wall.
The
Not the remote, though.
Not the remote. The Fire Stick is. So I don't know if they would actually burn that sort of battery, like, you know what I'm saying, by
Right,
keeping
because
that thing on all the time.
The listening mechanism, the microphone is in the remote.
Is in the remote, correct?
It's not in the TV or the Fire Stick.
Right. So I don't.
That's probably not.
You might be safe from that. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's a thing where for like 30 seconds after you're done using it, it remains on and records what you're saying. That I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, that I don't know, but that it's certainly possible. But like I said, if there's a microphone, it is recording you. And look, to be fair, should these companies have said this to us and made it a little bit more known? Probably. But to be fair, a lot of them have. They just kind of put that out there, but it's not news and nobody really gives a shit until you come across something like this. Like, oh my God, there's 3,000 files on me. I would be more pissed. I don't know. She didn't really specify, but I would be more pissed if this was being held on my local drive, taking up space.
Right. Now, how did she just she called up Amazon and requested it? That's it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you can
'Cause
get that?
they have to give you the information that they have on you. Facebook, the same thing too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
And they use, like I said, it's used. Yes, you could be like, oh, they're trying to sell me more stuff. But again, like, if I love hockey and microphones and Superman, I don't want to see ads for Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that shit.
I do.
It's a waste of my time. Right, you do. And giving them that information, exactly. I don't see any harm in that. What they could use it for negatively, I don't know. Now, they can't sell that information.
Right.
And most of them don't. In fact, Facebook, why it's so powerful is because they were the first ones to be like, I'm not going to, like, see, early on when people got info on you, selling it was the most valuable thing to do. Facebook changed the game because they were like, no. This is the
For
money.
us.
Why am I going to sell this to somebody else when I can have it? And now I can charge people to have access to it on my platform.
Right.
That was a genius move by them because that's where the money is.
And it's a little more, you feel a little more secure that way.
Right. And they're not like selling your information. They just know that, like, again, when
They
they
just
know
what
that
you like.
when Metallica is coming out with an album and the record company says, we have $30,000 to spend on ads, what's the best way we could reach Metallica fans? There's Facebook going, hey, we know the 2 million people who love, I'm sure they have more followers on Facebook than that, but they go, we have those people. And not only did they not probably get that from the microphone, but you voluntarily clicked like on their page and told Facebook, I like this band.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Now, there should be an easier way to turn that on and off. If you want it on, great. Turn it on.
Right.
If you want it off, great. Turn it off.
Well,
But they wouldn't make money that way.
they wouldn't. And to Apple's credit, Apple with iOS 14 and now subsequently 15, they are cracking down on this in a major way because Apple looked at all this and said, oh, we know a way to make money with the public. Let's deny access to these things. Let's not allow Facebook to use our phones, microphones, without people's express permission. So they were the ones that are giving you pop-up. But if you've upgraded your phone, you'll notice it'll say, hey, do you want to give this app permission to use your location or you're this or you're that? You know?
Yeah.
So they're the ones.
That's
and now
better.
Google is subsequently following with Android phones. And so they're seeing a real crackdown. But again, because I know people on the other side of it, people that are just trying to reach people with ads, they're having a harder time. And it kind of sucks because it was like, you know what? It wasn't a horrible system. As long as you're not abusing that data, it's not a horrible system, which I don't really know how many people would abuse that data. Like, again, this woman was concerned that her location was there. Who really cares? Other than the fact that you don't want that being stolen and then somebody being able to identify exactly
Right.
where you are.
I can't blame Alexa and Siri for having that information where you are because they deliver to your house.
Right.
They know where you are. They know, you ask for paper towels. They got to send it to your house. So they're going to know where you are.
And
Your
you even
address
tell
is with
them, because they'll ask you, is this in the living room, the dining room, the bedroom? You even give the
Yeah,
location.
when you install it. Yeah, this is my living room one. This is my main one. It's in the living room. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not, every time you turn your phone on, you use the maps. You tell it where you are.
Tell it where you are.
And they know.
That's so like in the bedroom one, they could listen for things like dildo and sex swing. They don't
Right.
listen for that in the dining room.
And that's the thing. What kind of stuff are they recording, and who hears it? It's basically just go. I mean, it seems like this woman, when she asked for stuff to be sent to her recordings or whatever, they got it pretty easily and sent it to her, so people can access this. The people working there can access her information and her audio.
And that's the worst thing. The worst thing is an employee. But again, who really cares or knows? The worst thing, honestly, is somebody getting it and releasing it on you.
Yeah, I mean, what if you said something stupid, or but it's
Right.
in you said something out loud that you whatever. I don't know. If you're a politician, all of a sudden, Amazon goes up. Don't vote for this guy because he said this in the privacy of his own home, and he didn't think anybody would hear it.
And even then, not to be naive, and again, the slippery slope people gonna kill me, but 99% of the people are that this could happen to, nobody would give a shit about.
That's true.
You're talking about celebrities and reality TV stars would be the only ones, politicians, like you said, are the only ones that people would be like, if it's
Well, what if I don't know, Ryan Reynolds, and so you're Ryan Reynolds, and I work at Amazon, and I see I got audio from Ryan Reynolds' house.
Yeah.
Is that worth something to someone?
Probably.
No matter what it is, no matter what's said.
Probably. I wonder though too. I mean, you have to think of this as well. Like, if there was let's look at Brian and Gabby. Is there an exchange somewhere of their last couple moments? Did that get onto her phone? Like, is that data somewhere?
It has a microphone. Was it listening at all the whole time?
If you have a murder in a house, is it possible to go to that Amazon Echo and go, would this tell us what the last couple moments were or what exactly happened?
It's a very good question.
Again, everybody would probably be like, get that out of my house, until they're like, oh, wait, we can find out what happened to Gabby. Then it's a good, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
it's tough. It's tough to, because there was a case or something, or it may have been even in a TV show or something, where they couldn't access someone's phone without their permit. It was like,
right.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
This happened. This has been coming up a lot lately, and Verizon and Apple giving access to the FBI as they're investigating something, and what their role is in privacy and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of like, you want to keep yourself safe and your privacy. You have a right to that as an American. Then at the same time, there was a case I can't even remember, where you were kind of like, because I remember being on the air and my take was, you publicly say you will not help the FBI and you will not do this, and then you just leak it to them without anybody knowing. Like, that's how you do it. You just go, oh, whoopsie, and you deny it. You deny it publicly, and just the FBI gets it, and that's what you do, because
we know you're not going to work for Amazon, because if you're there and stuff gets out, we're going to point to you.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem, like doing the right thing, even though it might hurt people from making money or whatever.
It's a weird situation. There's pros and cons.
Pros and cons. Dr. Dre was served at his grandma's funeral. Get that story ready for you here as we take a look at the beautiful merchandise.
It's nice merch.
AnthonyOnAir.com. We got our wonderful microphone hoodies, our legalized comedy hoodies. If you're vaccinated and proud of it, we got a t-shirt for that. We've got the new steel tumbler, which goes great with Jumpstart Coffee Company. It's a beautiful looking tumbler right there with our logo on the one side and our microphone on the other side. Of course, we have the Frankie. We have the Show Me Potato Salad stuff, and we have the Frankie C designed silhouette shirt that people are loving. We have to put that on the mug for that one guy who asked.
Have you not done that yet?
Merch department's falling behind there.
Come on now, merch.
Gotta fire the merch guy.
God.
Order some merch right now. Of course, it goes to help support the show. People do, subscribe to our show, pay $5, $9 a month, whatever they do, which we love and enjoy and appreciate. But I'd rather you see put a couple bucks and actually get something out of it as well. So that's why we have our entire line of merch there. There's great products for everybody. We've got bags. There's an organic. I don't know why a bag is organic, but okay.
Is it biodegradable if you throw it out? I have no idea. Made from natural stuff, I guess.
J Sabs loves the tanks, so there's a That's What She Said tank. It's all at shopanthononair.com or anthonyonair.com. Link in the description below, no matter how you're watching and or listening.
All apostrophes are in the correct places, by the way.
Let's hope so.
Right. Dr. Dre. This is effed up. I know you got to serve someone papers. You got to do it. I get that. But maybe come back tomorrow. So they're saying, Dr. Dre, and not for nothing, but Dr. Dre's grandmother practically raised him, from what I understand.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So this was a big loss.
That's really messed up then.
Yeah. Big loss. Now, There are two different stories on this. Some sources say that he was served right at the grave site, right
Oh,
after
Jesus.
the casket was lowered, and he took it, he got mad, and he dropped him on the floor and left. Another source says it was in the parking lot right after that.
Okay, can I tell
So
you
it's
what I
one or
heard?
the other.
What my source is saying?
What?
They put the papers in his grandmother's hand in the casket. So she was holding them up and it said Dre as he went up
You
there.
got served.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so actually his dead grandma actually served him.
That's the only thing that could have been worse.
That's fucked up. What that's worse is the first story I heard was that the guy who served him put a spring mechanism in the casket so that it would just pop right up and she'd hand it to him. But that I confirmed
That's
didn't
been
happen.
debunked.
That's been debunked.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no hard evidence on that.
Yeah.
But
Poor Dr. Droop. Do you remember the Sopranos when Tony's in the hospital and the other guy, the rapper, pays Bobby Bacala to shoot him in the rear end?
Yes.
You remember that scene? And he's talking to the rapper about how they write a song, and he goes, oh, like my son listens to Dr. Droop or whatever. He called him Dr. Droop.
Perfect. Yeah. No, that's. I mean, my wife and I were rewatching. We started Sopranos. We're up to like season 4 now, where we watched it from the beginning. We're going through it again, and I have to say, rewatching it, binging it is way better, because once a week was terrible. I couldn't do it because not enough happened in one episode for me to, to stay. But once a week is better. Plus, I've noticed the later episodes, the later seasons, they kind of spread out the action a little too thin.
Mm-hmm.
Not only the action, the interesting storylines. In the first 3 seasons, 3.5 seasons, a lot of stuff happens in every episode. Then 4 through 6, you're just like, come on.
I'm ride or die. Outside of Carmela going to Paris, I love the entire series from start to finish. But I will say those first 3 seasons were unreal.
Those are the best ones.
Unreal.
Then they get, what's her name, owns a nightclub with after Jackie. I feel like it kind of not jumps the shark, but it kind of loses momentum after Jackie Jr.
After Jackie Jr. season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just kind of loses steam.
Jackie Jr. season was great too, because it wasn't sort of when you watch it as much as I watch it, there was a little bit of a formula there with introduce a mobster in the beginning of the season, and then they go through the whole thing, and then I'm not spoiling anything for anybody, but that season it was kind of like, holy shit. I mean, and to a degree, the season where Drea Di Matteo's character kind of comes to the forefront, that season 2 was was really good.
Yeah, I mean, there was a bunch of episodes that are great episodes. Then there's a handful you just like, come on already.
But there was some that they used that so well, like the one where, the one where Paulie and Christopher get lost in the Pine Barrens.
That is, I feel like, universally the agreed upon that it's the best episode.
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at it, there's really nothing really happens in that whole episode.
But it's fantastic. It's entertaining because it's the tension between the two of them in the woods, and they keep calling Tony on the phone, and they come on, Tony, we're freezing our nuts. The whole episode, you're kind of like, what's going to happen? Where's the Russian guy? Is he going to spring up at the last minute or whatever? Are they going to find? It's fun. It's a funny and fun episode. The only episode, I might add, directed by Steve Buscemi.
That's right. No, not the only one. I think he directed a couple.
Did he? I thought it was just that one.
Yeah, he directed a couple before he got in on the show, before he joined the cast.
I didn't think it was just. I thought it was, but he did direct that one.
Yeah, this is a good segue into our Gandolfini story. So I was shocked to hear this. If people love The Sopranos, it's a great story. So there's a new book called Tinderbox, HBO's Ruthless Pursuit of New Frontiers. I love HBO, Frank. Love.
I got no problem with HBO. Back in the day, it was kind of like, before they got as big as they are now, it was like they'd introduce one movie every month and they just play it to death.
Mm-hmm. Well, but that was the time. That was the speed of the time.
Right now, it's like movie.
But when you think about it, all the great stand-up comedy specials came from HBO, like in
Yeah,
the
back in the
80s
day.
and back in the day. When you look at Arliss and that first incarnation of like, we're going to do TV shows, Larry Sanders Show is so
Yeah,
fucking groundbreaking, and they carried all the way through. So like pre-Sopranos, they carried all the way through with these like amazing shows,
yep.
that are, oh my goodness, hold on a second.
What's
Stop the
happening here?
presses. Live from the state where Brian Laundrie's remains may have just been found. Look who
Whoa!
it is.
I can't hear anything, but it is definitely not a coincidence that I'm here and his body has been found.
Way to go, then.
Sabs, live from Florida. Did you find? Are you in the? That doesn't look like the Carlton Reserve
What?
behind you.
What happened?
Where are you?
That doesn't look like the Carlton Reserve behind you.
Right now at City Walk.
City Walk.
That's a
What
Universal.
town are you in?
Look at
Oh,
this
Universal
beautiful
Orlando.
state. There's no masks.
Look at you. You look
I can't
good.
hear
Look at how rested Janine looks.
I have my
Is that a
squad-
fanny pack?
My squad t-shirt.
Look at the.
Gatano's
Look at
taking
this.
up. Wait, hold on. I'll show you him.
Look at how rested. Look at this.
Oh.
There's the hubs.
Is that guy?
Yeah, that's
My
Guy. No,
phone's
that's
gonna die.
that's
But
not
I
Guy.
just
That's a
wanted to come
homeless
in and
person
say,
she
I
found.
found Brian. What?
Way to go. He was
My
in
wife-
Orlando.
My wife asked if that was your husband. I said no. It was a homeless guy she found in Orlando.
I asked
Oh God, I wish.
So
Look
what's
at
the
you.
next stop over there?
How long are you?
Nope.
How long are you without kids right now? 24
Oh,
hours.
she's gone.
Oh, there she goes.
Who
Looks
makes
like a new person.
Jeez, I know.
She looks great.
Who goes out in Orlando and has 0 battery on their phone?
I don't know. Well, she probably will run around the park all day long.
Yeah, but charge your phone.
I'm so mad at her.
Why?
She went to Florida without her children. She went to Disney without her kids.
That's weird.
What a shithead.
That's fucked up.
I mean, I love her, but this is pure jealousy talking now. I was just like, she goes, I'm going to Florida. I go, oh, she's like, yeah, Universal and Disney. I'm like, awesome. I'm like, the kids are going to love it. She goes, oh, I'm not taking the kids. I go, I didn't know you could do that.
Is that legal?
Is that allowed? I'm like, who's watching your kids? She's like, I don't give a shit. I'll figure it out.
The homeless guy.
The homeless guy. No, her mom is doing it. I'm like, geez, that's great.
I mean, they are a little young to fully enjoy.
Yeah.
No?
A total waste. I took my kids when they were that young. It was a total waste.
They're not. No, number one, they're not going to be interested in more than half the
Yeah,
stuff. And number two, they're never going to remember it anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
you take pictures, whatever, but give it another 2-3 years, then they'll go.
And look, you saw Janine at the party. She looked awful. I mean, the last couple shows just terrible. So she needs the break.
She
You know,
needed
clear.
Right. She needed a little vacay.
All the Janine fans are going to be mad at me now too.
They're going to murder you in the
Piling up the
comments.
hate mail this episode. But I, she said that. I talked to my wife about it. I'm like, oh, because we talk about going away without the kids and I like leaving them with my parents and stuff. I just feel like I feel like if we left my 2 kids with my 2 parents, we would come back to 3 people. I don't know what that combination would be, but I feel like there's no way we would come back and all 4
Oh.
would still be alive.
It would just be your mom left. Your mom would take all of them out.
I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like somebody would be best case scenario, somebody would just be missing.
Oh yeah, no, that's a definite. But
Worst case, somebody would be dead. So
Yeah.
I tend to like all 4 of them, so I can't really take that chance on a vacation.
even your kids?
Huh?
You like even your kids?
No,
Come on.
I mean
They're not that
legally I have to say yes.
I don't.
Because if one of them does go missing and they're like, oh, remember this episode where you're like, and then I'm gonna wind up in
That's
cuffs
true.
and
That's
I'm
a good point.
I'll be in the Carlton Reserve and shit like that on the run. I don't.
Too soon.
Back to Gandolfini. It was great to see J Steps checking in. Perhaps
That was
we'll
nice.
get another check-in from her on Friday.
Yeah, if she charges her phone.
Yeah. Boy, didn't that look fun out? No masks.
Sounded like a party going on.
Yeah. You don't really have to wear masks here if you're outside. I just want to eat outside in
Yeah,
nice
if you're
weather.
outside, I think it's okay. That's fine. But the
God, I
number
want-
one hotspot in America is Florida for COVID. Just
Oh, is
saying.
that right?
But as far as I know, but they're outside. It seems like they weren't near anybody really. It's fine.
Totally jealous of her. I'm very mad at her for doing that.
Yeah, we
The
had
other thing, too,
virtually
is-
no warning too.
The other thing too is if her mom's gonna handle her shitty kids, maybe she would take my shitty kids. Like, what's the difference? Like, if you're gonna be miserable for 4 days with
Are
two
you paying
kids,
them?
be miserable. I would have paid anything. I would have gave her. First of all, I would have gave her mother the ride of her life, like she's been wanting for the last few years since I stopped it in the beginning.
This conversation took a turn.
Secondly,
Is there a thing like that? Like, you know how you could shelter a dog at a place? Can you shelter your kids at a place?
I would
Drop
love it.
like a 24-hour daycare?
I would love it.
Is
Because
that
think
a
about how
thing?
much your kids would appreciate you when you got back. And they're like, oh my God, I was in a cage for 4 days.
That's what I'm saying. You throw them give them a little bowl of water, they'll be fine.
And then people are going to be like, how could you say, we take them, the place would let them out and go pee and stuff like that.
Right.
It's not like they're peeing in the cages, not
come on.
animals.
We're not stupid. No, honestly, I'm thinking about, my wife and I were thinking about going out without the kids one day.
I just
taking a
hope you,
vacation.
I hope you get into a car accident.
Thank you. It's nice.
Anyway, can we go back to my love of HBO? I've had a love for this network for the longest time. Again, all the comedy specials, the television shows.
HBO's great.
Then they went into The Soprano. Well, even before that, Sex and the City, and all these just groundbreaking. You think about all the
Sex and the City was their one step backwards for me.
yeah. Well, but it's still great. People revered it. Remember, they had all those weird late night kind of porn, but not really shows. Those were
Those
big
are
in my
gone.
early
What happened
development.
to those things?
Yeah, Cat House. I think people got weird about them. That was weird shit.
There should be a little section on HBO now for that stuff. They're a little.
By the way, speaking of Dog the Bounty Hunter, and we got to get to these last couple. Actually, we only have 2 more topics after this. Speaking of Dog the Bounty Hunter, during the Dog the Bounty Hunter phase, there was an HBO show about a bounty hunting family from Long Island that was fucking better than Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Really?
It was way good. I wish I could remember it, but I forgot the name of it, but they had AC/DC as their opening credits song, which I loved. Please, in the comments, if you remember this show, put it in the comments. And they had and they were from Long Island, and they were so much more entertaining than Dog the Bounty Hunter. Plus, it was on HBO, so you heard all the cursing, and it was more realistic.
Cat House, the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, Dog the Bounty Hunter is finding criminals in Hawaii. Like, they know what the fuck crime is. That's a soft ass place. These people were searching for the shit of New Jersey and New York. Like, that was real fucking criminals.
Yeah.
And it was really good. But after one season, the people, the family on the show decided to walk away from it, which I will never understand.
Wow.
Because it was like blowing up. But anyway, HBO has been and then you look at Bill Maher, and that show's been huge for them. And then you look at some of the movies that HBO has made that's gone on to live on forever. The Gotti movie, people love.
One of my favorite movies of all time. It's in my top 10. Is Clear History.
Clear History with Larry David.
I could watch that movie any time of day and laugh my ass off.
It's so good. When you talk about Too Big to Fail, when they did the financial crisis, they made that movie. That was a great movie. There's a lot of great movies. You look at the movie remember the election, and they didn't know who won between Gore and Bush. They made a movie about that. That was really good. That had a ton of
They know what they're doing over there at HBO. Home box office.
HBO is just great. I friggin' love them. So I'm excited about this book when it comes out. Tinderbox, HBO's Ruthless Pursuit of New Frontiers. I don't know what it's going to be in there, but
you could read.
What?
Nothing.
I can't read. Shut up. They released this story, which was that the writer of The Sopranos wrote a scene where Gandolfini pleasures himself in the bathroom of a gas station. Isn't that weird?
Is out of character.
Super out of character. He refused to do it. And this was, guess what season? If you had to guess what season that would have happened.
Last season?
Yeah, 6th season. Partway through the 6th season. They don't specify if it was 6A or 6B, but I'm assuming 6A.
If it wasn't, I would have guessed the cabin would have been where it would have happened if he had to do that scene.
When
not
he
a
went
gas
up
station.
to visit
to
his
hide.
sister.
When we went into hiding in the last season.
Oh, right. Well, he wasn't in a cabin. He was in a.
Did he go up to the lake or something?
No, they were in a house.
Well, it was at the lake. Wasn't it on a lake?
No, you're confusing it. They went up to the lake to visit Janice for one episode.
Oh, okay. I thought the last few episodes, he was up at this lake thing in hiding, sleeping by himself.
He was hiding in a regular neighborhood, but he did flash back to the lake thing. So I know why that
all right.
makes sense why you would have confused that. But anyway, there was that. If you look at it, there was that gluttonous period where he got really fat by design. They wanted him to gain weight, and where he was just gambling a lot. That's where I would have thought that it would have happened. Like he would have just been about
I
that
wouldn't.
instant gratification all the time.
Yeah, but I feel like the only reason why season 6 makes sense is because the rest of it, to be fair, if he wanted it, he can get it. You know what I mean? They didn't have to show him doing that in a gas station. If he
Right.
wanted to just get some girl,
Right.
he
He was
could.
sleeping with girls like crazy at the strip club. You know.
Right.
So
But
it's
season 6, he was kind of by himself a lot.
well, you know, if you really think about that, you might really have a point there.
You know, he wasn't really.
Because he goes to Vegas by himself. Remember?
Yeah.
He did kind of start to really shy and pull away from people. There was a couple scenes too where he was just kind of always. I always found that interesting where he would be just like in the mall by himself with nothing to really do. When he starts dating Valentina, similar situation too, where he's just always kind of by himself a little bit.
Yeah. And is it me or is I'm blanking on her name, Melfi, not really that good a psychiatrist? She didn't really solve anything. She didn't really help him that much. I feel like the better psychiatrist was when Carmela went to that guy.
That guy was good.
That guy was just like, this is what's happening. Face it.
Told her what's up. Well,
He didn't
yes.
dance around anything.
Your instincts are good. Skip the next 15 seconds if you don't want this spoiler alert. But what you realize at the end of the series with Dr. Melfi is she was there for purely selfish reasons. It wasn't that she may have thought she wanted to help him, but really at the end of the day, she just loved the fact that she was a mobster's psychiatrist, and you can tell that in the scenes where she's talking to her psychiatrist.
Right.
And his primal instinct becomes her patient, and she lashes out at him for that, but actually kind of likes that attention.
Yeah.
That and she admits it too after she was RAPED. Remember
Right.
that she had power with him.
Yeah.
So she kind of fell into Tony's web of being conned.
Yeah, but she
Which we
didn't
do- which she-
utilize it.
They do comment on later on with that study that they bring up at the party. Remember that they con their psychiatrist, and she was conned.
Yeah, but she didn't take advantage of her access to him.
Yeah, not all the time, but again, it's the reason why we ride roller coasters and go skydiving. We want to feel that rush of evil, but also be safe at the same time. So that's
Yeah,
kind
I
of.
guess so.
Anyway, so he refused to do the scene. It turns out that they actually wound up convincing him to do it, and he did do it. And then when it came time to put it in, they ultimately cut it from the
Good
thing.
move. Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody really wants to see that. By the way, this was a common thing, and David Chase, he doesn't talk about it a lot now in interviews, especially because he wants to be respectful to Gandolfini now that he's not here anymore. But the two of them fought all the time. I mean, they fought like brothers fight, you know?
I can see that.
Because he always didn't want to do the things that Tony Soprano was going to do, and he, especially later on in seasons, resented it. Like he would have to do horrible things to women and people, and Gandolfini was a soft guy. He wasn't like that.
I could see that. Plus, I'm sure Gandolfini and Chase, they had to. Sometimes their idea of Tony Soprano didn't always, I'm sure they had some kind of separate nuances that they Gandolfini had an idea of Tony Soprano in his head, and Chase had an idea of Tony Soprano in his head.
Right.
And when they try to bring it together, it's like, no, that kind of goes against my idea of it.
Right.
That's, I think, with any actor and director.
Very well said. Yeah, because the writer, director, creator, right,
Right.
is sort of putting himself into the character, and then you have the person that's actually embodying the character, and
They
both
got their
gonna
own
have
interpretation.
100%. Facebook is changing their name, Frankie C.
See, now this is a little. It was a little misleading to me. I think Facebook isn't changing its name. The app isn't changing its name, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's why I'm glad we're talking about this, because you're not going to really get that in a lot of Twitter headlines. Facebook owns Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. They're running this whole, augmented reality company with their glasses that they're coming out with and all this stuff. So there's a parent company here that owns Facebook and all these things, and they call that Facebook right now. That's what they're going to change the name to. You're not going to log on to some other name app. It's still going to be Facebook.
Right. Yeah, Facebook will be Facebook, but the parent company is going to be, I don't know, Zuckerberg Industries. I have no idea.
Cramerica Industries.
Cramerica. That
would be
that would be amazing if it was Cramerica.
Michael Scott Social Media Company also would be a nice.
That would
one,
be good too. And with any luck, we'll get that chicken.
Do you know what? Divorce book. Ooh. Did you come up with that or did you see that?
No,
that was a wife.
But you want to know why? Because 1 out of 3 divorce filings have the word Facebook in it.
How does she know this?
That's a lot.
Frank brings up a good point. How do you know this?
Oh, the guy on TikTok that does the.
Whatever.
Do you know the guy?
Whatever.
That does the,
Her lawyer told her, Frank.
Watch your back, Aunt. Lawyer up, my friend.
No, seriously. The guy on TikTok that interrupts people and says the.
Oh, the guy on TikTok?
Yeah.
I love this guy on TikTok. Have you seen the guy on TikTok that interrupts the videos?
Which guy?
He gives an interesting fact. Can you bring it up, D, so we can put it on the screen for everybody? Yeah, give me. I'll show you. Like you watch a video and then it's just him sitting in his car and he gives a 3-second answer to the video and then gives you a fact totally unrelated to the video. I don't know what this guy's name is, but he's fucking
What the
great.
hell is that?
Yeah, hold on. This guy.
No, I don't know that guy.
You never seen him?
No.
He is the best.
He's really good. Justin Danger Nudler. Can we?
Someone else came up on. He came up on my FYP, and then I found.
You got to forward me that guy.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna send this to you, guy. Oh, is his name Real Tommy, or is that somebody else?
No, it's someone who.
Oh, okay.
Tagged him because he has 2 million people.
He's got
Well,
2 million followers. Yeah, I don't know who that guy.
I got to
He's
tell you,
great.
my favorite video on TikTok right now, it's going to be hard to beat it, but it's the guy.
As you're looking for it, this, I mean, there was a video where there's a trend now where Jesus walks into a house and he goes, "What would you do if I walked into the house?" And I forgot what the guy said, but it was something to this, like, so Jesus walks in, he goes, "What would you do if I walked into the house?" And he's like, "Shit my pants." Anyway, did you know that elephants, like, that's what that's his like cadence for every every video.
That's
Go ahead.
funny.
Who's your guy on TikTok?
So, well, it's not really a guy. It's just a video. It's a random video that's kind of everywhere. I'm sure you've seen it. The guy dancing at the wedding, and it starts off with there's like a beat drop. It goes "Turn down for what?" and then it's supposed to go into the song, but he goes to dance, and it turns into Dancing Queen, and he's just like.
Oh, I don't know that guy.
Now, I don't know if I can play the audio because it's a little bit of "Turn Down for What" and a little bit of "Dancing Queen."
Keep it away from the mic a little bit. That's all.
All right. he's getting ready to, and he goes, and he just gets disappointed because it turns into Dancing Queen,
and the DJ laughs at him.
Yeah, they all knew it was coming. Yeah, well, it starts over right now. Yeah, he's like, "Turn down for what?"
Oh yeah,
and it's Dancing Queen, and he's like, "Oh, that's freaking great! I freaking love it." It's way better if you look it up. It's way better with the audio.
Yeah.
But that guy's expression, I freaking love it. It's
Gregory from accounting, you mean?
Yeah, he's just ready to friggin' let it loose, and then it's ha ha ha, and he's just, it's freaking great.
He's had a rough week at work, and he just wants to let loose. And
oh man,
Abba
he's just
gets
ready
it
to
his way.
friggin' throw down, and then rug right out from under him. It's great.
Quickly, we can't spend a lot of time on this here, but Netflix employees are going to stage a walkout in the wake of the CEO's response to the controversial Dave Chappelle special. This breaks my heart because the guy, I'm telling you. Did you watch the full thing yet?
The full? No.
Okay.
I didn't watch the full special.
All right. I would love to get your thoughts after watching the full entire thing.
All right. There's something freaking me out right now, and I have to stop you and address it. It happened twice already. To your right, a little white, I don't know,
Is there a
fluffy ghost. Just
Is it
no, a little closer. Like it was like right over your shoulder, right here. Just a little white light or something. We'll see it when we watch this back.
Okay.
But yeah, right about there.
Get away.
Little white something
Get
just
away.
fluttered next to you.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, really? I might have a bug up here. Maybe that's what you saw.
Could be a bug, but a little bigger. It was like a white. cloud. But anyway, we'll see it when we watch this again.
I'm ignoring it, pretending like it's not happening. I was like, it's a bug. I'm panicking. It's a ghost. If it's a ghost of a 6-year-old girl, I'm never going to make it.
Oh, you're dead.
The Trans Employee Resource Group at Netflix is planning a company-wide walkout on October 20th. Isn't that today?
That is today.
To protest remarks made by joint CEO Ted Sarandos regarding Dave Chappelle. LGBTQ activists say Chappelle made a number of anti-trans comments in that special. Oh, one of the things was he said only women can have babies. That seems to be a big debate with people.
Well, that's one of them. One of the things. The other thing was that he sided with that group that's very that's very anti-trans.
All right, now my wife told me that. Let me see. Ted Sarandos is walking back some recent memos regarding Dave Chappelle's latest special. I 100% believe that content on screen can have an impact in the real world, positive and negative. All right, so he's slightly walking it back, but he's not like giving up on it.
He did. I could be wrong here. Don't quote me on this, but I thought that he made a statement that he kind of supports the walkout.
He acknowledges that some of his employees were in pain due to the streaming giant's decision to air the special. Come on, give me a break. In pain.
I don't do it. Yeah, who knows? But it's it's not. Everybody's like, oh, comedy. It should be nothing's off limits. I agree. You could joke and whatever, but there's parts of a comedy special that even when you watch it is not part of the joke. There's the
philosophicalizing.
Right. There's that part that just you make a statement and everybody claps because they support the statement, and then you go on to the joke. Because there's not every sentence you say is a joke.
Again, call me crazy, but I feel like I really feel this, and people will criticize me for it. I really feel like this was a positive step in the right direction for LGBTQ people. I really think that
what was
at the end of the day, like you sympathize with Chappelle and you understand that he is not somebody that is against this community, as he illustrates in the special, especially towards the end, took one of the members of this community and elevated them and put the spotlight on them and gave them a bigot or an anti-LGBTQ person would have not given that person an opportunity. And
I don't think he's a bigot. I think he just said some insensitive things. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a bad guy.
Explain this to me, and I know this is a hot topic and I might get a beating for this. This phrase of women can only have babies. And I think because I feel like I saw some dust up from people that are like, men can have babies too. And yes, I saw Junior, okay, like all the rest of us. And I thought, well, first of all, if a man could do it, probably most likely only Arnold Schwarzenegger or somebody with that vigor. Like I couldn't do it. There was no way. I couldn't handle the pain. Right. But I'm sure there's some process. Is that offensive that he just says your babies only come from women? I guess it is, because if it's a trans woman who believes they're a man,
trans woman, yeah, no, well,
okay, now I get it.
If it's a guy, if it's someone who transitions into a woman, they can't have a baby. So it's there.
No, is it the other way? Is it a woman who transitions into a man? It could have a baby.
Woman who transitions.
So now I see why people might find it offensive.
So because gender.
At the end of the day, I don't.
There are people who think what you have between your legs makes you either a man or a woman, and in the trans community, it's deeper than that.
They don't believe that, which I get.
Yeah,
which I get. I also don't want.
It's about you.
I think it's an interesting statement to say only women can have babies, because you're kind of. I mean, it's semantics. Only people with ovaries and a vagina can have babies. And I also saw. What I found interesting? I saw women. There's a lot of women that have issues with transgender because they kind of feel like they're taking their, what's the word I'm looking for? Taking their heat, taking their,
stealing their thunder.
Stealing their thunder. Thank you.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? That's like people being angry with a remake of a movie. It doesn't take anything away from the old movie. It doesn't do anything to the old movie.
Did you see the Home Alone trailer that we played a couple shows ago?
Did it do anything to the original?
Hurt my soul.
Is the original changed in any way?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm not disagreeing with your point. I'm disagreeing with your analogy.
All right, I'll give you that. That's fine. I don't always make the best analogies,
Yeah.
but
This was the wrong time to bring this up because we have to wrap things up. But
it's a much bigger topic than what we have time for.
That we can give it time for. I just don't know if it's. I feel like it's a quirky little comment of like it's. And again, like I said, instead of saying you need ovaries and a vagina to have a baby, you're saying woman.
Yeah, I mean, gender. I think people in the trans community and myself, a lot of people who agree with the trans community, gender is a bit of a spectrum. There's not just man and woman. There's variations in between. There's people who were born with male parts who are inside their woman, and they just happen to have the different parts. And I think that's where the definitive "this can only be this" is hurtful to people that aren't that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think
there are men out there who are not men. They are women on the inside.
You're looking at two men that are not men. I mean,
no, we're not. We are not men.
We are not men. What do you call this? There's a lot of great Seinfeld references in this episode. I gotta say,
point them all out for a prize. No,
but just like I just did there, I'm making a joke. I think again, he in this special.
Well, that is a joke, but that's not your real feelings. It's
all about you. That it is.
That's fine, but even that a joke. If you seriously said, well, if you said something very seriously inside of a comedy special, that can't go under the guise of a joke because it's not. You could have a comedy special and say a serious thing in it. Isn't that correct?
I guess so, but I think again, I understand. I get your point. It's a good point. I think though the issue with people, and where I think the community is getting this wrong here is they're focusing on this little tiny thing and ignoring the broad, overall idea that he was preaching, which is look what I did. Don't do what I say, watch what I do, kind of a thing of like I am as accepting as the next person, even though he's out there making jokes and shit.
I get that, but when you do these things, you help. Yeah, he's helping another comic. He didn't help them, I don't think, because that comic was trans. I think he just helped that person.
There was a good person
struggling. Yeah, a good person. So it had nothing to do with.
No, it wasn't even that I was struggling. It was more like the person, the trans person, that was supportive of him. Mm-hmm. They got to talking, and then he wanted to return that favor and be supportive back,
which is great. That's awesome.
And he didn't let the fact that they were trans. I'm going with they because I forget if it was male.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I forget what it was, but what that scenario was. But he didn't let that get in the way.
Yeah, I think he just ran into some trouble when he says, "I agree with this group and the J.K. Rowling thing, the whole man is a man, woman is a woman."
I don't. He didn't say that in this special. Was that in a prior special? I think.
No. He said the J.K. Rowling thing in this.
In this special, I might have.
He said, "I agree with this group." I think the acronym is.
But again,
TERF, TERF. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm talking out of school here. I think J.K. Rowling. And again, Mike. See, I feel like we can talk about this honestly because my feeling on this. I'm 100% LGBTQ community all the way. I think J.K. Rowling is in that group of women that feel marginalized by some of, which again was sort of Chappelle's thing of like, hey, as a black person, we've been fighting for 400 years, kind of a thing, where it's like now we're being put on the back burner. For this group, which, I'm not saying is right or wrong. It's just how they feel, how he feels.
I get that, but it's not like there's only one group of people that can struggle at a time.
I agree. And we've talked about this, especially in sports. I feel I'm on the record on this. There's no right or like people like to make a big issue of men who trans to women and then go to perform in a sport and dominate and win, and people feel like it's not fair because there's this and that. And I feel like, if they feel like they're women, they should have every opportunity. And I believe that. But then you hear from like a woman who's kind of like, hey, I fucking trained all my life, and all of a sudden I'm getting my ass kicked in this thing, and I'm losing the only small opportunity I've had to showcase my skills to a person like this, and you hear that
Well,
and you go, here's
no,
a situation where both are right, and there
I
may
get
not be
that.
an answer.
I get that. And I think if there are different genders, more than two, then there should be more than two. Maybe I don't have the answer on this, but it's just a
Separate but
suggestion.
equal? How dare you,
No,
Frank?
because
How
there's
dare you?
men and women sports, right? Right now we're at men and women sports. There's men and women bathrooms, but maybe there should be alternate gender sports.
I was at a
gender.
Wendy's today, and there was the bathroom was labeled all gender.
It was one single bathroom.
Yeah, whereas like in the past that would have been the male. They would have had the male picture and the female picture. That what
Now it
didn't
just
have
says
that.
all gender.
Just says all gender on it.
That's something. And it's
By
just
the
a one
way,
in, one out.
which I was like, huh, that's interesting. What I found more interesting, don't judge me on this, was there was no counter at this thing. You walked in, and to the right, there were 3 screens to order, and where there usually was a counter was just a place to pick up the food. And a bar.
On what?
There was like a bar, not a bar with drinks, but there was like a bar with bar seating where you could eat at the bar facing the employees making the food, which seems like the most depressing thing.
That's weird.
That's not the
imagine you're-
scenery I want to watch.
Yeah, imagine you're an employee and you look out and you just have these people looking at you like,
Yeah. When I eat fast food, I want to barely acknowledge that it was poorly handled by somebody. I don't want to sit there and watch them poorly handle other food as I eat the fucking.
you.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I don't know. Maybe if there are multiple genders, maybe there should be multiple sections of sports.
Like
there should
a
be a trans,
like a
trans
non-binary
male.
division.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. what the answer is.
Everybody jump on in the pool, and we're gonna all do pole vaulting. This is gonna be.
I mean,
whoever wants
either
to
it's all together or it's all.
And
different.
I
don't know.
it's funny. I agree. Race car driving, chess playing. There's going to be those things where
Doesn't matter.
I think it's great. Where you're always going to run into an issue is where men, physical men, born men, who identify as men, are going to, or physical men, somebody who is born with male genitalia who believes they're a trans woman,
We got you.
is always going to dominate some female, traditional female,
Cis female.
cis female.
I get it.
I don't like cis. I feel like we could do better with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel
what
like
that,
we could do better with the cis thing. I don't understand. Call that something else.
I don't know what you'd call it, but
Bro.
what? Man's ear.
Bro.
You're an ass.
Not cisgender, bro gender. Cuz gender. In Italians, we have cuz gender. Hey, cuz. It doesn't really matter, male or female.
Anybody.
Hey, cuz.
Everyone's a cuz.
Yeah, everyone is a cuz.
But
This is your cousin Mary. There's your cousin Peter. There's your cousin Mary.
Yeah.
Good fellow.
And there's Paulie. There's always a Paulie somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we're going to solve it here, but
No.
we don't have the answers. And if we
You know
said
what's
anything,
sad? If we had Janine, we'd have it. Unfortunately, it's 2 idiots, and we can't fucking put it all together.
yeah, I'm sure she's clear-headed right now that can give us an answer.
3 sheets to the wind, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, let's do our live read for the great J Sabs. Of course, October is. I fucked this up last time. I fuck it up again. Stillbirth
Man.
Awareness Month.
Way to get ahead of yourself before you brought it up on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get it.
So that Tony Sopranos something, huh?
Yeah, it's great. Anyway,
There you go.
Janine lost her first baby, stillbirth, and she now does work with Star Legacy Foundation. It was just extraordinary. There's a link in this description of this episode, again, on Facebook or YouTube. We're collecting donations in the name of Diana Hope. We're doing that all October long. There's only a few more October shows left. People have been very generous, donating $100, $5, whatever you can give, even $5. By the way, and every time, here's the worst part about this. I got to get a text message every time somebody donates in the name of the show from Janine. Like, oh, look at that. Like, yeah, people are nice, but she
She can't
hates,
understand that people are going to do this.
people are going to be nice to you. They really By the way, last episode, the most positive Janine comments, it was almost like you and I weren't even there. Everybody's like, I love Janine. The fact that Janine called the cops on her mom, people fucking
That was a big
love
one.
that story. That was a great story.
It's good stuff.
So again, I say, if Janine ever made you laugh and you enjoy her, you got $5 you can spare. Go ahead and click the link in the description below and donate to Star Legacy. as they raise awareness and research and figure out a way to have less infant death here in this country. Again, we're one of the richest countries, and we got a big problem on our hands. So donate to the Star Legacy Foundation. In the name of Diana Hope, from all of us here, we would truly, truly appreciate that. And Janine would tell you that if she wasn't flirting with a homeless man in Orlando, Florida, and drinking $12 drinks.
Classic Janine.
Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening, and we will catch you on the next episode.